pterygoids on one side of their face are experiencing weakness. All right. Alright, so now I'd like you to slightly open your mouth. I will now do something called the jaw jerk reflex, where I'm just going to put my finger on your mouth with it slightly open, and I'm just going to tap with my hammer. I'm just going to tap with my hammer. Alright, perfect. Alright, so the jaw jerk reflex looks to see the jaw jerk reflex looks to see if they have that jaw reflex. So a normal response would be for the patient to have no jaw movement, and an abnormal response would be for the patient to have that jaw jerk reflex, which indicates upper motor neuron lesion. All right, we will now test your cranial nerve 7, your facial nerve. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna test the movements and your abilities of your face for the facial nerve. So now I want you to scrunch up your forehead and raise those eyebrows. I want you to raise those eyebrows for me as you scrunch your forehead, and I'm gonna push down, and I want you to keep scrunching against resistance, and I'm feeling that facial tone in your forehead. All right, perfect. Now I want you to, and can you take your glasses off for me? All right, now I want you to squint your eyes, squint them as much as you can, and I'm going to try to open your eyes, and I want you to keep them squinted against the resistance. So I'm feeling for the facial tone in your face. All right, perfect. All right. Okay, now I would like, all right, so now I'd like you to show me your teeth, and open your mouth and show me your teeth. All right, perfect. So I see the musculature going there. I don't see any deviation to one side or the other. Perfect. All right, you can close your mouth for me. Now I'd like for you to purse your lips for me as if you're blowing a kiss. So I'd like you to purse your lips. Purse your lips. Perfect. Perfect. I'm just going to feel the muscle tone. All right, the tone feels even on both sides. Not seeing any deviation for that. Okay, perfect. Okay, so for the facial nerve motor task, this is measuring the frontalis muscle on your forehead, the orbicularis oculi muscle on your eye, the buccinator to show your teeth, and the orbicularis oris for your lips. So a normal response would involve all of them being able to have that resistance against the pressure and to have that normal tone and no deviation to one side or the other. But an abnormal response would include deviation to one side. So, for example, if the buccinator has weakness on one side, then that would show kind of that irregularity in the opening of the mouth. And so we're really looking for that range of motion and that symmetry. And so if there's weakness on one side of the face, then that indicates hemiplegia or hemiparesis. Okay, we will now do a task for taste. All right, so we are now going to test the facial nerve, which manages or involves the 2/3 front portion of your tongue. So I have some things for you to taste. So I'd like you to stick out your tongue, and I'm going to put this Q-tip on your tongue, and before you put your tongue back in your mouth, I'd like you to have an idea for what the taste is. All right, so stick out your tongue, and you can just stick it out right forward. Perfect. All right, so I'm putting this on your tongue. All right, do you have a taste for me?
Honey?
Honey? All right, perfect. All right, let's do the same thing, and I'm going to put this on the other side of your tongue, so stick out your tongue. Stick out your tongue. All right, do you have a taste for me?
Salt?
Yep, salt. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so this task tests the patient's ability to have that gustatory or taste ability on the 2/3 front portion of their tongue. So a normal response would be for the patient to be able to taste the different tastes on both sides of their tongue before sticking their tongue back into their mouth. And an abnormal response would be for the patient to not taste the food on one side or both sides of the tongue, or for it to take a long time for them to be able to process that taste, or for it to be a dimmed taste.